People will get sick, people die, and you know Rasulullah went through all of this. Even with his own son Ibrahim, he was shedding tears and saying, our hearts is grieved, but we'll only say what is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll shed tears, yes, and the heart is grieving, but we're content and satisfied with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen. So that takes us from the idea of sabr to the idea of rida. Sabr is different than rida. Al-rida, according to some of the ulama, to be happy and content and to rejoice. As-sururu, to be happy and rejoice in the aqdar that come your way. That's why it's not required. Rida is not wajib, it's only mustahab. It's recommended we do that. But sabr is required. Sabr means we don't make statements like, why me? Why this happens to me? Why things keep hitting me? That kind of sabr is to stop short of protesting. It's to be patient and not to make a statement that will show some protest or objection. But rida is to be content and happy with it. The least of it, sukunul qalbi bimajari al-ahkam, that the heart will be content and is satisfied with whatever outcomes that come your way. So it takes a lot of aqidah, it takes a lot of belief in the qadr, it takes a lot of understanding of sunanillah. The more you read the Quran, the more you see what the prophets went through, Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, and you know how great the taste of all these messengers, especially ulul azm and rusul, especially Ibrahim and Nuh and Musa and Isa and Muhammad alayhim salatullah ajma'in. They were tested heavily. But what is the point there is, Allah wants to test your patience and sabr. And Allah wants to let you know that this dunya is not the land of joy, is not it. There is the akhirah where everything inshallah will be blissful and rewarding and will fulfill all what you need. But in this dunya, we have to expect tests. And we have to learn to have the fiqh and understanding on how to deal with these tests. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from one of our mothers, Salama, is teaching us how to deal with it. Salama, as we said earlier or weeks before, her name is Hind bint Abi Umayyah. Her husband was one of the muhajirin to Abyssinia. She went with her husband to Abyssinia, and then they came to Medina, after that in the second hijrah. And then her husband was a very good man, a man who loved Allah and loved Rasulullah and was treating her excellently, was very good to her. So her husband one day came to her and said, Rasulullah told us, if any calamity or hardship comes your way, and you make istirja, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, and you make dua, oh Allah, reward me for the calamity I'm going through, and recompense me with something better. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati wa khuluf li khayran minha. Anyone who said this, Allah would replace that hardship with ease and will give him something better. So he said, my husband came and told me this, and I remembered that. Her husband passed away after Uhud, one of the great shuhada. Then she was reminded, Rasulullah is saying, you have to say this dua and say, oh Allah, reward me and give me something good in place of what I have lost. And she said, I thought to myself, who's better than Abu Salma? Who's better than my husband? And alhamdulillah, she has the right. She loved him greatly. He was a great sahabi, he was a great man. It wasn't in terms of arrogance or pride or anything. She was just making a statement of how good that man was. He was a good man. And I hope our spouses will feel the same way about us. That's what should scare all of us. Would your spouse feel the same way? Like Salama radiallahu anha felt about Abu Salama? He said, who is the man? Is there any man in this world better than Abu Salama? And I take that to you and to myself. Would your wife or my wife, your sister and my sister would feel the same way about us? Are we treating them the way that Abu Salama did treat Salama? To the point she said, I questioned that in my mind. I said, who's better out there, better than my husband? He's the best of the best. And I hope inshallah we'll treat our spouses in such a way that they will have the same feeling. They will feel about us like this is the ni'mah Allah has given me. When they make sujood, they say, oh Allah, I thank you for Abu Filan or Abu Filan. I thank you for the husband you granted me. And wallahi, we can do that. People only need consideration. They need love. They need respect. They need attention. You cannot just say, oh, they should know it. No, they shouldn't know it. You should show it. When it comes to sentiments and emotions, if you don't show it, it doesn't exist. A lot of times, we as men, we want women to read our minds. I do everything. I go to work and I provide the bread. I shouldn't we spend my time saying words of emotions and feelings. No, you should. That's why Salman was doing that. Who are you to just assume things? You should say it, you should let them know how you care, and you should make statements of that you love them, you care about them, you want their comfort, and then they will know who you are. Like Salama did know who Abu Salama was. So she said, I thought there is no one like him. So after that, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu came and asked for her hand. She said, sorry, no, I don't want to get married. I have children, I have a baby. She refused. Umar, who was a relative of hers, came and proposed. She said, I'm sorry, I don't want to get married. I have no interest. Meaning, in her heart, her husband was irreplaceable. There is no one to take his place. With all due respect and love to both Abu Bakr and Umar and all the Sahaba ajma'in. And then before she knows it, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked her for hand for marriage. And that she said, then I realized there is someone who's better than Abu Salama. Then I realized, until Rasulullah proposed, she said, I don't think there is a man who's better than my husband. Period. Then Rasulullah proposed. And then she said, I realized there is someone who's better than my husband. But even with that, she told Rasulullah I am a woman who's jealous. Imra'atun ghayra or ghayra. Wa inni musbiya. I have little kids with me. So I may not be the wife that could be for Rasulullah. People come and ask questions and I have to be welcome. And I'm too busy. I have little kids. He said, don't worry. For the jealousy, Allah will take care of it. For the kids, I will be responsible for them. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So bala comes, test comes to all of us. Salama was tested. And the thing we need to remember from all of these stories is that anytime a hardship comes your way, turn to Allah first. First turn to Allah. Ya Allah, I trust what you chose for me. Ya Allah, I ask you to alleviate this hardship. It's a hardship. We cannot call it otherwise. It's a hardship. When your son is sick, it's a hardship. Your heart goes out. Your tears are shed. Come on. We cannot, go around bushes about this. No. It is a hardship. It's difficult. Sickness comes to the families. Tests come to the families. Death comes to your family. Everything comes. But how you deal with it is really what makes a difference. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the test of good and the test of hardship is equal. It makes no difference. What the difference? How you deal with it. Umar radiallahu anhu, one of the most learned of the Muslims. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he said, Bulina, we were tested. We were tested with Darra and we succeeded. We were patient. We were tested with Sarra, with the goodness, and we failed the test. Meaning, a lot of the ulama believe that way too. That the test with the Darra, the test with the hardship, is easier to deal with. Because you'll immediately go back to Allah and plead with Allah and ask Allah for help. So it might even improve your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will make more dua, more tawakkul, more husnul dhanni billah, more inaba to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more tawakkul ala Allah, more reliance and tafweed, and all the beautiful meanings of aqidah, of taslim to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But sometimes the goodness and the wealth and the possessions might distract us. We might just go on a tangent and forget what we're here for. And that's why they say we're tested with the sarra and we failed. Meaning we did not give the shukr, that is wajib in this case. We did not make the actions we're supposed to make when we have the wealth or we have the possessions or we have the children. And that's why Allah says in Surah Al-Anfal, إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ fitna. Test, fitna. It is a test. How you deal with it? Allah bless you with children. Do you think Allah gave everyone children? You are mistaken if you think that way. No, Allah bless you personally with these children. Do you take time to thank Allah for them? Do you think all the married couples in the world have children? Big mistake. No, it's not like that. You are the one whom Allah blessed with these children or this child. So first and foremost, revel in that blessing. First and foremost, take time and thank Allah for it. Don't take it for granted. Wallah, it is not. You are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala especially blessed you with these children. And it's a test. Would you be thankful and grateful, or will it distract